let's be real. Do you ever feel like you're in a constant race to just keep up with artificial intelligence? It's a lot. It can feel pretty overwhelming. But what if the secret to not just keeping up, but actually getting ahead, isn't about grinding it out all by yourself? Today, we're going to dive into how one community is tackling the AI learning curve together, and what we can all learn from their approach.
This quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It really sets the stage. The motivation isn't some fear of the technology itself, but the cold, hard reality that AI is becoming a fundamental skill. It's not about robots taking over, it's about people leveling up their game. And that brings up a really important question. How in the world do you do that without getting left behind?
And for so many of us, this is the core challenge. We're not just talking about learning a new app on your phone. This is about navigating a massive technological shift that's moving at like lightning speed.
Look, that feeling of being overwhelmed, it's completely real, and it comes with a serious risk. There's a genuine concern that the very communities that have historically been late to the party on new technologies could find themselves on the wrong side of this divide again. So this isn't just an individual problem, it's a community one.
And that right there, that's the mission that sparked this whole group into existence. It's a proactive move to try and change a historical pattern. The goal isn't just about one person's success, it's about collective progress, making sure everyone has a shot to stay on that curve as it keeps bending.
So what's their solution? Well, it's actually kind of brilliant in its simplicity. Learn together. They've created this collaborative model that directly fights the isolation and the pressure that so often comes with trying to learn something this complex all on your own.
And you can tell it is absolutely working. What started with just 4 people basically checking in with each other has exploded into a group of 37. And that growth, it isn't just a number. It's proof that people are starving for this kind of supportive place to learn.
So, what's the secret sauce here? What makes this community tick? Well, it really comes down to a few core ideas. First, and this is probably the most important one, is creating a safe space. It's a place where you can ask the dumb questions, and you can experiment without that fear of looking stupid. Then there's accountability. Just knowing other people are on the journey with you is a huge motivator. They also make a point to share what they're learning across totally different industries, which is awesome because it sparks new ideas for everybody. And finally, they just embrace this idea that it's okay to not be perfect. It's that combination of psychological safety and shared purpose. That's what makes it all work.
And this is what I love. Just look at this mix. This proves, once and for all, that AI is not just for coders and tech folks. You've got people from arts and culture, nonprofits, mental health, cybersecurity, entrepreneurs, you name it. This diversity is like their superpower because they're sharing insights on how AI applies in completely different worlds, which just gets everyone thinking. Okay, let's shift gears from the why to the what, because this group isn't just a book club. They are actively getting their hands dirty with the tools that are literally shaping our future.
They're focused on really tangible skills. They're digging into stuff like UiPath for automation, exploring these next-level search engines like Perplexity, and mastering prompt engineering, which is really just the art of talking to an AI so it gives you what you want. They're even building their own AI agents to automate their workflows.
Now, one of the most fascinating things they're exploring is this thing called UI automation. One of the group members, Masai, explained it perfectly. It's not just about apps talking to each other behind the scenes. This is about an AI that acts just like a person on your screen.
So what does that actually mean? Well, just imagine a little robot that can see your screen and use your mouse and keyboard to do all those boring, repetitive tasks for you. And the key is, it can do this even on old, clunky software that doesn't have a modern way to connect to other things. This is a total game changer for automating work in any industry.
But here's a really sharp insight from the group. True mastery isn't just about what AI can do. As another member, Charles, pointed out, it's just as critical to understand what it can't do. Seriously, knowing the limitations is the key to using these tools without pulling your hair out. It's really the difference between a rookie and a pro. All right, you're going to want to pay attention to this next part. This is a huge takeaway. The group uncovered a fundamental shift in how we find information online, a move that takes us way beyond Google into something totally new.
So, for years, we've all been living in the world of SEO. Right? Search engine optimization, the whole game of getting your website to the top of the Google rankings. Well, the new frontier is GEO, Generative Engine Optimization. The goal is no longer to be the first link. The goal is to be the answer that an AI like ChatGPT gives you directly. It's a complete paradigm shift.
And here's the absolute heart of that shift. Traditional search is all about keywords. You stuff your website with the right words to get found. But AI understands semantics, the actual meaning and context behind what you're saying.
This means the quality of your ideas and how relevant they are is about to become way more important than ever before.
And if you think this is some far-off future thing, listen to this. Dr. Charmaine, a psychologist in the group, shared this unbelievable story. A speaking gig found her not through Google, but because ChatGPT identified her as an expert from a single article she wrote. She was just blown away. This geo stuff is happening right now.
So, okay, this is all great for them. But what about you? How can you apply these lessons to your own life? Well, the group's process actually gives us a really clear, practical framework for anyone who's looking to start their own AI journey.
It really boils down to these 4 steps. First, start with your goal, not the tech. What problem are you actually trying to solve? Then, do a little research. Just get the lay of the land. Third, test it out on a small, simple project to get an easy win. And, maybe most importantly, find your people. Learning in a community gives you the support and accountability you need to keep going when it gets tough.
And the payoff? Oh, it's real, and it's big. One member is already saving over 40% of the time he used to spend on certain tasks just by learning how to use these AI agents properly. He took tasks that used to take an hour, and now they're done in 10 or 15 minutes. Just think about what you could do with that time back. Which brings us to the final and most important question. AI isn't really just about being more efficient or productive. It's about getting back our most valuable resource, our time. So the real question isn't just how you're going to learn AI. It's once you do, what are you going to do with all that time you get back?